When you pincer your opponent has a few options. First is jump, second 3-3, and has a double approach over here too. First, in this video, let's take a look at 3-3. If you don't have 3-star opener or something, then you can first block from this side. If white extends, you extend, white hanes, you hane back, and white connects. You extend here, and white jumps. This is a Joseki, and you don't have to worry about this stone cutting you, and here's why. If white immediately cuts you, you can bump first. White has no choice but to come out. From here, don't forget to push this one first. If white runs out, this stone is settled, and this is a floating group. And because white didn't answer here, you can push first. When white blocks, Atari. If white runs this stone, then the whole corner might die. So white has to answer something over here. And Ponuki. This way, this group is not gonna die, this group is not gonna die, and white has a floating group in the middle. That's obviously not good for white. So when black pushes here, white needs to answer. And from here, the Tesuji is to attach over here. White has no choice but to come out, and boom. This way white is dead, and let me show you why. If white wants to come out, you block him. When white Ataris, if you pull this stone out, then white gets to come out like this, and this result is not acceptable for black. So when white Ataris you, you Atari him back. White has no choice but to still take this stone, and you Atari again. If white connects, Atari again, then the whole thing is dead. If white extends and tries to run out, then you can simply take these 5 white stones, and you are completely alive, and it's very thick over here. What if white bumps first? You connect, white hanes, you extend, and then cut you. Again, you still have to make this exchange first. When white extends, you're going to cut over here. Obviously, white cannot Atari from this side because everything is going to connect back. So white has no option but to Atari from here. You extend, white extend, and from here, you shouldn't extend. You should hane. White Ataris, you extend, white Ataris here, you extend. If white connects, you Atari the whole thing, and these 7 stones are dead. If white extends out, then you can simply Atari from here, then these 5 stones are dead, and everything, all your stones are connected. So when you are playing this Joseki, you really don't have to connect here. If you connect here, white jumping is a sente, so you have to connect back. Even if not that, white pushing down like this and then jumping can be painful. If you don't want to get too much pain, then you have to let white go, but you have no points at all. So if you look at it, this, since you're not afraid of white bumping and cutting, this is a better option. But the thing you have to remember is when white plays here, you have to answer this stone. And the best way to answer it is to one space jump. Let's say we have a white stone over here. At most, white's gonna pull back, but remember, this is not a lot of territory because when you play here, white's gonna probably answer like this, and you can 3-3 him. White has nothing left over here. If we have a black stone over here, white's gonna probably play something like this and try to be alive. Then you can either play away, or if the board is filled, then you can attack these stones. What happens if black doesn't answer this approach? Then white is going to bump. When black extends, connects, white harness, black extends, and white connects. Now black has to secure that cutting point, and white can get this influence out of nowhere. So black needs to answer when white approaches here with the wine space like this. As long as you answer this stone with this one space jump, first of all, everything here is super safe, and even if white gets to make this is not a lot of points. If you have your own stone over here, then you get to attack white for playing this move. There might be a question in your mind, which is when you 3-3, black extend, when you extend, what if black harness like this? We all know the Joseki is like this, but we really don't know how to deal with this hane. If you just crawl on the second line, then you're tricked by black's trick play, because again, we all know the proper Joseki is something like this, but all of a sudden we are crawling on the second line. This is terrible for white, and let me show you how to deal with this trick play of blacks. When black harness, you gotta hane from bottom first. When black blocks, you connect. Black needs to connect too, and from here, if you crawl on the second line, then again, you're tricked. So from here, you need to clamp this stone. If black extends down, then you can cut black. If black tries to save this stone, you can first ask, can I go back? If black says no, then you can simply pull out this stone. Then the whole group is dead from here. Even if black harness, you can cut. If black plays here, you can Atari and the whole thing is dead. If black plays here, then you can Atari from this side, then the whole thing is still dead. What if in this situation, when white asks if we can go back, black Ataris you. You can first connect, and if black cuts your connection like this, then you can extend here first. Black needs to extend, and you can safely capture these 3 black stones. This is also a better result for white. From here, what if, when you connect over here, what if black plays over here? Then you can push first, black has to extend, then you can Atari, black connects, and all of a sudden, these 6 stones are dead. So when black extends this stone over here, then it's extremely difficult for black to get a good result out of it. That's why when white clamps over here, black needs to connect back, and white connects 2 groups together, and this result is, it seems okay for both players, but it's actually still terrible for black, because black made this extra exchange. Before we have this, but now we have this, which means if we played the normal Joseki, then at any time black can approach here. If white doesn't answer, black can peep. If white connects, black can pull out, then the whole white group is not a living group here. So white has to answer something over here, something like this. But because we had an exchange over here, this white doesn't have to answer. So black lost a possible move over here because black tried to get greedy. When you pincer white, what if you have a 3-star opener over here? And when white 3-3s you, there's no way you're going to block from this side, right? And the most basic Joseki is block from that side. When white extends, you extend, white extends down, and you lock white inside the corner. This way you get to grow that side, and the middle is yours, and you're loosely growing this side too. But the thing is, white has sente, so white can start to reduce your potential first. Another Joseki is when black extends here, white can extend down first, and black is going to block here, and white extends down. This way, white has a possibility of leaking into black's potential over here. But in Q games, the chances are they're gonna play this, then you have a much bigger corner, and you still got sente. If you're playing a higher ranked player, they're not gonna answer your second line move, and black is going to get sente and keep growing his moyo like this. When black plays here, another common situation I see is white pushing out like this. But as long as you blocked here, whatever white does, you get to grow this moyo. So when white pushes, black pushes too. White needs to block. And from here, remember, you don't cut this side, you cut here. Let me show you what happens if you cut this side. White is going to atari you. Atari, ponuki, you take these stones. But you see white has a ponuki here, so white is almost alive, and white is also leaking into black's potential, and this stone is too close to this strong group of white. So this is a terrible result for black. So from here, instead of cutting over here, black should cut over here. If white connects here, black can happily take these two stones. The difference is before we had a ponuki over here, but now this is an actually unliving group. You can attack this stone, this group, to grow your potential over there. So when you cut over here, white needs to atari, and you atari, white takes this stone, and from here you got two options. First is to save this stone and fight these two white stones. Or you can hane over here. If white comes out like this, then you can save this stone, and this fight is definitely good for you. So white too is going to atari you. You atari, white takes this stone, and black secures the cutting point. You see, I didn't make this exchange before. This is an actually terrible exchange because you made black thicker outside and you gained zero profit in the process. So this is a terrible exchange. All you need to do is this, and you still has a chance of going out. To sum it up, when white gets into the corner, the most common Joseki is this one. White extends, and black has to extend. This is a trick play, so black has to extend. White harness, black harness back. White connects. Instead of connecting, black extends, and white jumps. Black is not afraid of this cut over here because we get this when white comes out, black pushes, white pushes, and black attach. White comes out, and when white pushes out, like this, black attaries from this side instead of saving this though. White has no choice but to actually take it. Black attaries, white tries to escape, and black takes all the stones in here. What if white bumps over here? Black can first connect, when white harness, black extends, when white cuts, black can make this exchange first and cut, when white attaries, black extends, when white extends, black harness, white atari, black extend, white attaries again, black extends. If white connects, black can turn and capture everything. If white pushes out, black can cut and capture 5 stones over here. If white approaches here, you have to answer that white stone. And whatever happens over here, you're not afraid of that. So it's okay to answer it with the 1 space jump. When white extends here, what if black harness? Then white can harness here first, black harness back, white connects, black connects, and instead of crawling on the second line, white needs to clamp over here. If black extends down, white can cut it, and there's no good result for black over here. So black needs to connect back, and white can simply connect 2 groups together, and this is also good for white because this exchange of black got rid of this possibility. So this is definitely good for white. If black has a stone over here, let's say we have a 3-star opener, when white comes into the corner, there's no way black is going to block from this side. So black is going to block from this side, and whatever happens, black gets to grow this moyo over here. If white extends, black extends. If white extends down, black can small knights and get everything in the corner. If white, instead of extending this stone, white can extend here to see if white can destroy some territory over there, then black can push, white extend, and black gets the sente. In this variation, white has the sente. But in this variation, black has the sente. So you choose your josekis according to if you want the sente or not. When black pushes here, what if white pushes out? Then black can push, white blocks. Remember, you don't cut from here, you cut from here. And also, white don't connect. White needs to take this stone. Black attaries, white takes this stone, and black can save this stone, but it's going to get too messy. So black is going to hane from the upper side. White attaries. If white comes out, then black can still pull this stone out and attack these 3 stones to grow that moyo over there. So white needs to capture the stone. Black attaries. And remember, white doesn't make this exchange because it makes black too thick. White simply takes this stone and black connects, secures the cutting point over here. If you finished watching this tutorial, then you should have realized if black wants to grow this side by taking 3-3, there's actually no way of white interrupting black's growth over here. If white wants to interrupt that, then white has either jump or double approaching option. And jumping is a terrible move. So if you really want to interrupt black's growth over there, then you really should use this double approach. And these two Josekis I'm going to explain in other videos.